Test. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. Hope you're all doing well. Without further ado, it's time to get this show on the road. As always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Welcome to the first edition of the London streams for 2026. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you all had a very safe and happy holiday period. But it's time to get to work, team. And looking forward to another big year on the charts. Obviously, last year was a massive year for the team, for myself. Had a really good year personally. Win rate was fantastic as well, on and off the stream. So looking to continue on with that in that fashion. And let's have a good one, guys. Only taken one trade so far this year, and that was yesterday. That was my first trade of the year. I haven't looked at the charts all that much. Only started looking at the charts this week to actually look for some potential entries, but just easing my way back into it. Otherwise, been doing a bit of work with the team, some sim sessions, and yeah. But guys, you guys know the drill. If you could, don't forget, smash that like button on YouTube, TikTok, hit that little screen for us. And any charts, any questions, anything you'd like for me to take a look at, I will do so for you as soon as I am done with the analysis. But anyway, guys, let's get to work. Let's start by having a look at the news. Let's see if we do have anything scheduled here for today. We can see, let me just refresh this. We had CPI overnight for the US dollar, overnight my time anyway. Moving forward today, nothing in regards to our session. It is a pretty big week ahead though, news-wise. I had a brief look at it at the beginning of the week. We do have PPI and retail sales to come for the US dollar. It is to come 30 minutes into the M1 session. Tomorrow, big day for the pound. We will be on stream for that to see how that plays out. Let's get into it, guys. And wouldn't you know it, gold yet again, rolling at an all-time high. Fancy that, hey. Been tooting the horn of gold and silver for how long, guys? But anyway, looking at the gold starting at that weekly time frame, what we can see is do not have a lower wick on this candle. We did not have a lower wick in the previous candle. We did not have a lower wick on this candle over here to the left hand side, on the other side of that bearish candle. Do we always need to have a wick in the opposite direction prior to pushing, in this case in line with the trend bullish? No. I've mentioned many times, as long as any pullback within the candle itself is met by support and by step back in, and with the price being in a big strong uptrend, there is a good chance that we're not going to pull back to create that lower wick. So I really don't think we're going to do it this week. Doesn't mean we can't, but off the back of that, we are very strong bullish into price discovery yet again on the weekly time frame. Looking at the daily time frame, what we can see is very bullish here. Current daily's got no lower wick. Again, not so concerned by that. We do have a high low high to that previous daily candle. So based off the daily more so than the weekly, seeing I am scalping, I'm looking for potential levels within this daily candle we could pull back to, perhaps form support and look for a buy to take it back up. Further option is obviously going to be above the high upon continuation. Now moving on to the 4-hour time frame here, and what we can see is we are definitely bullish in structure here on the 4-hour. We've confirmed a higher high, not yet. We've closed just at that wick. I don't think we've confirmed the higher high. No, we could potentially be doing it though in 5 minutes. Reason why I want to identify if we've done so or not is because if we do close above the level as to where the structure would flip back bearish, as opposed to being all the way down here below 4,400, we would flip back bearish basically below 45.70. So that is the level where I would consider the 4-hour structure to have flipped back bearish if in fact we do head back down towards that level. So it looks like we're about to confirm the higher high here on the 4-hour time frame. As far as resistance, then we're breaking through it, we're closing through it by the looks of it. We'll go down to the 15-minute and see what we've got. Now on to the 15-minute time frame here, and let's first of all determine the structure the way I personally see it. All right, so here was the highest point initially, all the way over here to the left. We did flip the structure back bearish. We've since flipped it back bullish. We have confirmed Yes, we have. We're closed above this swing high, the highest point of the impulse to the upside. Therefore, the way I see the 15-minute structure, believe it or not, it's technically bearish. That is the swing point we need to close below. We have done so. But guys, I am extremely bullish on gold. Just because the 15-minute is temporarily bearish doesn't mean I'm interested in selling it at the minute. What I'm going to do is mark in a resistance here at the all-time high. I'm going to mark in another level here to the left-hand side, and that is the 15-minute local support. So what I want to do is quickly look at the 4-hour yet again. So the 4-hour likely going to close back bullish. All right, well, it is going to close back bullish in 3 and a bit minutes. So potentially what I'd be looking at is for price to potentially come back down to this 46.20 sort of region. On the new 4-hour candle creates lower wick. It also lines up, yeah, with the 1 hour. So I'm gonna start looking through some of the other time frames a little bit more than what I used to, guys. So you'll be probably seeing me more flick a bit between the time frames. So potentially coming back to that 30-minute support, also at that 46.20. So it lines up perfectly with the 15-minute level, obviously. So options for me today on gold are simple. Potential continuation buys above the high. So yes, it's in price discovery. Yes, you are buying it, you know, at the highs, which a lot of people, big no-no. But everything's bullish. We're trading with the trend. There is no reason as to why it could not continue to the upside. So to feel more comfortable about it, what I would prefer to see is preference for closure above price, pull back in to retest it and begin to pull away from that zone at 46.39.50, 46.40, and look for a potential buy at the back of that. Now, further options would be if price was to pull back down to, as I mentioned before, that 46.20 sort of region and provide some sort of price action catalyst from that level to look for my opportunities to take a buy back up. As far as any sells, guys, I just don't see it at the minute. Even though the 15 you could argue is technically bearish, what I would prefer to see is perhaps for the 4-hour to begin to reject, and we have a really strong closure, for instance, on the next 4-hour candle back at the support or preferably below it. What's going to happen within that is we're going to be starting to form some structure to the downside, and if that is to be the case and we do have the clean traffic to the left, only then would I begin to look for an entry based on the 4-hour candle probabilities being bearish. So on the following candle, that obviously creates upper wick, begins to reject and pop below. At that point, you got counter probabilities to the downside. So basically, I'm just looking for buys, guys, and I'm going to be extremely patient because, again, it is very early into the year. Just easing my way back into it. Yesterday's trade was a quick win with the members group. That's the only trade I've taken so far, but we'll see. 38 seconds remaining. Is gold potentially gonna close above the high? Let's just watch it for a minute. What I'm also going to look at, guys, I'm going to start to analyze German 40 a lot more. I've started to back test it. The results so far are pretty good, focused predominantly on the 5-minute time frame, but I will do the analysis on it shortly. I just want to make sure this candle doesn't close above, and it doesn't look like it's going to. All right, so for gold, it's got no upper wick too, so forget it. There is no entry, and we'll look at that. The open is absolutely just dropped straight down. All right, on to German 40, and then I'll get to you guys in the chat. So let's have a look at it. Let's just clear the drawings. We'll start at the weekly time frame, and what we can see is we are extremely bullish at all-time highs as well on this particular indice. I think as pretty much all the indices yet again. Daily time frame did close back bearish, so we're one step ahead of gold if we were to look for any counter trend entries. The reason being is we do have the higher time frame candle confirmation closing bearish. So if prices begin to pop below that candle, we'll have counter probabilities to the downside, which could lead to a deeper pullback. Onto the 4-hour time frame, again very bullish. That level on the previous daily lines up with the 4-hour support, so we're just going to mark that level in. We're going to mark in the resistance at the all-time high as the current 4-hour range. So we do look pretty good for potential sells below that point. Let's make our way down to the 15-minute time frame. Structure in that time frame is bullish. So there you go, guys. So the confirmation to sell it for me would be structure flip on the 15. At that point, you'll have daily counter probabilities to the downside. Maybe that makes perfect sense to start looking for sell options. So otherwise, similar to gold, I would only entertain buys. It's in a big strong uptrend, guys. You're best to trade in line with the trend, especially when you're in such a strong trend. If it's a bit sideways but the bias is, for instance, bullish, then I'm not as opposed to a counter trend trading it. For instance, if price is at a resistance, look for sells. But if it were me, I'd be looking for buys. So buy options, most recent resistance formed, apart from the one we are just breaking here, is the level at 25,422.4. That is the current daily candles high. Prices to begin to pop above that point there. Potentially on a 5-minute closure, I would look for a potential option to take a buy. Now, what I would prefer to see is seeing prices coming from the day's low. I want to see price trigger in some sellers, make a bit of a swing, a bit of a pullback from that resistance, wipe the sellers out, close above, and look for a potential buy as long as we have that confirmation. Now, one thing I want to add to the analysis here on German 40 is no entries at London Open. No entries whatsoever at that candle. This thing is nasty. For the first 15 minutes or so, even the first half an hour to be honest, but more so the first 15 minutes, this thing is just absolutely berserk. Watched it for the last week or so of the members, so I'm not comfortable trading it right at session open, but otherwise this is pretty much what I'd be looking at. I mean, you could adjust that across to have a little bit more resistance just above the daily high. So if price sweeps the Asian range high, pops back down to retest it, begins to pull away from it, be a buy option. Further buy options above the resistance point here at 25,445. So that is my personal opinion of both gold and German 40. Make of that what you will. One thing you definitely need to do though is smash that like button. YouTube, smash it. Don't forget, just do us a quick favor, TikTok, hit that screen for me and I'll get to you guys in the chat. The other option would be if price come back down to support, by the way, on German 40. Alrighty team, how was the holidays, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Let me get to the YouTube chat. Franco, as always, Beats, good to see you back on stream, mate. I'm not sure we didn't see you on the stream for a while towards the latter half of last year. Peter, g'day to you, hope you're well. Sebastian, my loyal YouTube member, g'day to you, hope you had a great holidays, mate. And thank you. Batman, thank you, appreciate it. And yep, give it a like. Sebastian, did you see silver? Yeah, wow. Happy, but at the same time, I still want to buy a lot more. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still great value because I do believe this is going way, way higher. But when you're buying something at, you know, $20 US, now you see it 4 times that, more than 4 times that, it's a little bit harder to actually pull the trigger to actually buy. But to be honest, it's a lot more difficult to get these days as well. The bullion dealers here in Melbourne, it's becoming very difficult to get your hands on it. But yeah, knew it was gonna happen. Some boss golden lens, I have missed your live streams. Happy New Year to you. Welcome, my friend. Sebastian, D40 can be very aggressive, at times almost unpredictable, especially at the start of session. Cost me a lot, and since I personally no longer trade D40 too afraid of sun break. Yeah, that's something again I've noticed a lot of with my team, so I am also very weary of that and going to be really careful and cautious at session open. TikTok, to the 50+ of you on stream, welcome, and thank you to the 5 new followers. Jen Tripp, thank you for your sticker, appreciate it. And let me say g'day and have a look at the chat on TikTok. Jared, yep, long time no see, hope you're well. Cheese Mobile, g'day to you, welcome as well, welcome back. To be honest, I wasn't going to start until next Monday, but I thought, actually looking at charts a bit more this week. Last week, I was on the charts for like an hour a day with the team. Not every day, but most days. W, the initial drop was looking good, but flipped back bullish on gold. Here, yeah, I was watching that before. Would have preferred it to drop a little bit further down, but charts don't give a crap what we want it to do. It will do what it just does what it wants to do. So anonymous TP at psychological level. Then Dover. I feel like it's fundamental sentiment market. To be honest, with what is the likelihood of the US dropping interest rates, and it's just going to make inflation continue to go through the roof, because people will be more willing to spend and will be easier for them to probably access money, borrow. Based off that, and I do believe gold and silver are just going to continue, absolutely continue. Even Bitcoin, I do believe will push this year off the back of that. It has moved. Bitcoin has moved lately. It's back up to 95k. I've started a little swing session in my members group section. Sorry. Analyzed so far US oil and Euro USD. One I will be analyzing shortly for my team is Bitcoin as well. Believe in Jesus to be saved. Jesus Christ, me coming back soon. All good, mate. You're allowed, entitled to your opinion. Ermin Sand Angler, gold going down. No, I don't think anything yet suggests to me that we're ready to go down. This is not gold, right? This is gold. Before it was German 40. Britzuk, good day to you. Welcome back. Thank you. Postcards from Norway. Do you swing trade? No, I don't. I scalp, but I am open to looking into swing trading again. So that's why I've just started up that section of my members group literally today, and I've done some analysis on US oil, uploaded a 9-minute video on that with screenshots, also a bit of an explanation as to what I want to see. Members, I'll send you a link in 2 seconds. That's here, swing trade section. It's this type of thing they get in that section. I've just analyzed 2 pairs so far. I begun my foray into Forex trading through swing trading. To be honest, it was predominantly crypto at the very beginning, and I wasn't doing it very well. But I have a lot more of an idea of what I'm doing these days when it comes to swing trading. Guys, geez, I'm rusty. That's where I put send the links. All right, my members, there you go. There's a link if you wish to join. Jacob Hipper, g'day to you. You don't think we can break that support and move to 45.97? Yeah, it could. Definitely could, but again, I'm only interested in buying it. It's in a strong uptrend. For me to consider sales, as I mentioned before, I want to see a nice strong 4-hour closing back bearish, and for back below that support with the 15-minute structure being bearish, then that would be enough for me to consider selling it. Another point I want to make mention of is the fact that we have not yet retested this particular level, not on any time frame, guys, not even on the 5-minute. Once it broke, it has not pulled back to it. So there is that possibility that we could eventually come back down to it. What I am looking at personally is, where are we? Is for a potential buy limit, and not at that level, at the interruption. So the interruption, the IC candle, which is what you guys learned about last year only on this stream, is here. So what that lines up with almost perfectly is 4,500 flat. So for me, I'm going to have a buy limit, very, very small buy limit, because what could happen, what you often find is sometimes they shake out the leverage and it'll be a sudden drop. Price will tap into a psychological number. There'll be a lot of buys triggered in at that level, and it just bounces straight back up. So I'm kind of looking for that slingshot sort of move. If it does just melt, grab that or flush out some leverage and pick up some leftover orders. So for me, I'm looking at an entry at 4500.45. Wider stop loss, wider target, very small position. Dex, good day to you and welcome. Thank you for the stickers, by the way. Just saw that. Appreciate it. Peter had my biggest win on Monday. Asia, 638 pips. No need to trade this. Nice one. Wow. Don't you love those days, mate? Cracking days. Yeah, Asian session once again bringing a noise. Again this year. Yesterday London session. Last few times I've looked at London session, my team's been shit house. Been doing what it did pretty much all last year, just consolidation. Asian session has been making the moves. Generally speaking, I wake up, NY has made another move to create a new all-time high. Looks like nothing much has changed in regards to the volume during certain times of day. So I'm going to personally try to get on the charts a little bit more during the Asian session. Sketchimus, good day to you. Welcome to you. Hope you are doing well. Learn to appreciate. Gold is acting like a policeman hiding inside lottery kiosks to catch an innocent diver. It's a pretty good way of putting it. YouTube, don't forget, please, if you could, don't forget to hit that like button. Let's get a like count up. I'm not expecting that many on the call or on the stream, but I would like a little bit more than 26 of you. So if you could just quickly hit that like button for us. Thank you once again to all new followers on TikTok. So some interesting things will take shape throughout this year with the team and myself. Just working on some things and looking forward to it. Looking forward to see when that all takes shape. So what, it felt good to get a win straight off the bat yesterday. The last few years, my record, the first week I've started trading has been shit house. Sorry guys, don't want to put you off, but I'm back really strong. Last year, I think I lost my first 3 trades and then won 10 in a row. That set the tone for the rest of the year. The rest of the year was fantastic. So it's good to get one up early yesterday, and it was straight to TP1 without drawdown. All right, gold. So far we're respecting the resistance at the all-time high. Really love for price to break the Asian session high, create new all-time high, pull back to retest it. Well, otherwise, once again, pull back to a zone within the current daily candle and look for a potential buy option from that point. Raj Kumar, what's going on? Gold every day coming higher. Yeah, well, the US are going to turn the money printers back on, so it's going to lead to inflation. They're going to cut interest rates as well, so it's going to be good for gold. For silver just keeps on keeping on. And I think that's one of the main reasons as to why gold continues to create new all-time highs. Plus the fact that people are starting to wake up to the fact that the banks, first of all, gold is real money. Gold and silver is God's money. It's real money. Banks don't even have your money. It's all basically IOUs. It's all credit. It's a big credit system. And I think that people are starting to worry about bank runs and things like that. So I've mentioned it many times. I prefer to accumulate wealth in more so silver, but gold as well, as opposed to cash. I mean, cash isn't bad as well, but I mean, as opposed to money in the bank. James, I'm in at 592. Don't know whether to hold or get out. 592. It's a nice entry, man. Need to have a plan. Maybe trail his stop. Jaden, do I think silver will drop with gold as well? So if gold does drop, and eventually they will have a pullback, and eventually it'll be a bit of a nastier pullback than, you know, what we've seen of late. Yeah, yes, it will. More than likely. Silver is both industrial and a monetary metal. It's also listed as a scarce scarce metal. No, what's the term? I can't remember the actual term for it, but in America, a critical metal or critical mineral, something like that. I can't remember the exact term, which, you know, means, to be honest, if anything, it's more valuable than gold as far as use case. But it does, obviously it's a smaller market cap, so therefore it doesn't take as much to move it. So the moves are more volatile. When it pumps, it goes up harder than gold. When it dumps harder than gold. But one thing I would tell you as well, mentioned it towards the end of last year, is the fact that big bullion banks, just gonna remove this zone for the time being, in the US, now they've shifted from net short to net long on silver. So it was the most heavily shorted metal and heavily shorted asset of anything in the world, paper asset, as far as I'm talking about paper contracts, talking about, you know, JP Morgan, so on and so forth. And now they are net long on silver. So the banks have realized it's a juggernaut they can no longer stop as well. Apparently, from what I've heard, it's the euro zone, which could be left to pick up pieces, because they're still apparently quite short when it comes to silver and gold, platinum. Yeah, but obviously I think 3 figures are around the corner on silver. I do believe silver will be at some point closer to the 1K mark. Not saying it's happening this year. No way. Definitely not. Very much doubt it. Look, maybe 150, 200 could happen this year. If any, last year's anything to go by, it ended up 125, 130% roughly up on the year. So who knows? And that $200 mark potentially. Sweet and salty. What I think the altcoin go up. Look, if Bitcoin goes up, and they're likely going to go up. I don't trade with crypto, but way of knowing as to when the altcoins might take over is looking at the Bitcoin to ETH chart, which I don't have here. I'm not going to look at it. Because once Ethereum is starting to outpace Bitcoin, then that's perhaps when the altcoin cycle will, you know, return or has returned. Galmarek, good day to you. Nice to see you as well. Sebastian, can you look at EU? I see a very strong old resistance level at 116.3, 116, 150. It must date back to December 9th, 10th, especially noticeable in the 1 hour, 4 hour chart. Yeah, I can most definitely have a look for you. Let me just add an alert just here on gold. So EU. So this is one I analyzed. This is for the swing trading section of my group. And as far as swing trade goes, I'm preferring buys. Preferring buy options. But let me delete this. And let me quickly take a look at it. So looking at it as far as a scalping perspective, do see the previous candle close back strong bearish. Current candles pull back quite significantly into that candle and is so far rejecting. So potentially create the highest point for the current weekly. Previous daily closed quite strong bearish, but we are at support, and it's also last significant high low here on the daily time frame. So off the back of that, yeah, I mean, it's tapped into support. So I know that previous daily closed bearish, which would sway me to, you know, more potential downside, but seeing it's at support, I think it's a level price could potentially bounce off. That's why I sent the analysis as far as swing trade in my members group to look out for potential buy options. Mark in this support just here, most recent support. Let's mark in the most recent resistance on the 4-hour time frame. It's not quite tapped into the 4-hour support. Structurally bearish. Let's look at the M15 time frame, and that appears to be also bearish. So to me, it's actually swing trading wise, I'm preferring buys. Scalping wise, I've got more of a sell signal, but it all depends on levels here. So if price began to pop above 116,550, it would confirm a structure flip on the 15-minute time frame. Therefore, knowing it is at a pretty strong level of support as well, it's not quite tapped into it. If price was to begin to close above that point, confirm a structure flip on the M15, then I would potentially, or preference, looking for potential buy options. So obviously like so. Now if price was to respect that level, I would want it to pop up, to be honest. I would want it to pop up to that point, 116,540, that roughly. Reject and look for a potential sell option, take it back down. And further sell options, potentially back below 116,420. Oh, gold. We'll get to gold in a second. Still got a while until the 15-minute close anyway. All right. Further support, I would just mark in those lows. Yeah, so yeah, it's a tough one because longer term perspective, I'm very bullish. Short term, it looks more bearish, but it's at key support, so I would look for buys from support. Did in fact pull back to 116,420. Otherwise, look for sells upon resistance, buys above 165,546. So it's, you said 116.30 on the 1 hour and H4. Yeah, if you're talking about all this as far as support, you're definitely right. I agree. So, I mean, that could be a preference to either sell it back down to that point and look for support for a buy, or just wait for it to come back down. Back to gold. Five minutes remaining, guys. You want it to close above this rate. Doesn't close above, we'll have a think about what we need to do. Still could be an impulse entry. There's only 16 likes. YouTube, if you could smash that like button. Takes 2 seconds. And TikTok, let's hit that screen. Andrew, my thoughts on silver. Been shooting silver's horn for years and years. Been in silver since $20 US, it's $90 US. Thoughts on silver, very similar to gold as far as trading wise. Pull back to support for a buy, otherwise potential buys upon continuation. But I mean, silver looks a bit better. Closes above, there's a good chance it's gonna fill that wick right in the all-time high. So I just wanted to close above the resistance a bit below 91.18535. Extremely bullish on silver. Ooh, gold flipping. All right, so we've got just over 3 minutes remaining, guys. Your all-time high yet again. All right, let's start to have a look at a few things. So stop loss is huge. Based off of 15, big stop loss. So we need to patiently wait and see where this candle closes first of all. Need a decent lower wick on the following candle. And the lower wick, if we close, for instance, where we're at, I'd want it to tap into the low of this zone. And that would have to be the stop loss. And then look for a potential buy stop above the high. Let's quickly look at the 1 minute as well, just to see what's going on here. So the 1 minute, pulling back with not closed above bodies to candles here to the left. I would have referenced a closure above bodies to candles here to the left, then pull back to retest. But we do look pretty good otherwise. Let's see how this candle closes. Just under a minute and a half remaining. Quite a big delay at the minute between the MetaTrader and TradingView. Alright guys, so the potential entry will be above the high. But we need, again, a lower wick tapping into this range, tapping into all of this zone. That is the only way I can get a decent stop loss. Otherwise you're looking at 70 plus pips. Or close to 280 actually. Alright, 20 seconds guys. Last thing I want is for this thing to close back. I want it to close at least above the body of that bearish candle. And if not, then it's going to require a potential delayed breakout entry. It's not done it, so it's pulled back quite significantly towards the end of that candle. The 5 minutes close, quite strong bearish. All right. So potentially the delayed breakout, and that will require 1 minute closure above and 1 minute retest, closing back bearish, and then entering good breaks. But we're far off that happening, and we're pulling back. So just not ready yet, guys. As we know from last year, patience pays. We just need to be patient. just under 30 minutes until session open. Let's take a look at German 40. Oh, almost tapped into that level, but not quite. Alright, good thing is we have triggered in sellers. As I mentioned before, would not entertain any buys above without it triggering sellers, seeing it come from the daily low. So if German 40 begins to close above, the only thing is, like I mentioned, definitely not interested in trading German 40 at session open. Ahmadi TP. Well, there's no entry just yet, so there is no TP. Five-minute, we are creating some high lows, high highs. Structure itself, though, is technically bearish, so even a 5-minute needs to close above to confirm a structure flip on that particular time frame. But again, I really would love for it to be on an M15 close. One thing I am testing as well using Forextester, I don't have it up here, and it's going absolutely smashing it, is a 1-minute and 5-minute on gold. I've been hard at work testing that out. I'll continue to test it out. Might with some potential new ways to get involved. But a lot of the time, what I've found during the testing is it lines up a lot of time for 15-minute candle close as well. Uma, am I looking for buys or sells? Buys. So the only thing that may also happen, if this thing just pops up and I don't have the right confirmation, we may have the interruption on the 30-minute present for session open. So for that to be valid, this thing will need to close probably about 20 pips above the high minimum volume on gold a minute. want it to be at least 20 plus pips above. Now I could probably set at that point a buy limit order back at the high of that bearish candle, which lines up perfectly with the resistance. The 1 hour, see if there's any. No. It's the 4 hours. So 4 hours potentially has pulled back to create lower week and potentially to continue bullish if it breaks the high of that previous candle. I don't think it did in the end. No, right on it basically. Blue Toast, did you enter buy now? No, I've not entered any trades as of yet. Yeah, you're in a sell. Good luck. Good luck with that. How about you guys over in YouTube? Anyone currently running any positions? Let me know. Just be honeybee, you're in a buy since Asian low. Nice one. Yeah, Asian session just continuing on from last year. Last year Asian session was the best session all year. It's natural price action too, because it's not obviously impacted by USD news during Asian session, and nearly every day during Asian session price will just go bullish. In fact, it'd be worthwhile probably, if you could, gathering the data over the course of last year to see how many days during the Asian session price ended up higher than it started. And if I had to hazard a guess, I would say probably about 80% of the time. Neo, good day to you. Alright, so we're just got under 5 minutes remaining here on the M15. Let's quickly look at the 5 minute. Alright, so yeah, still the same thing, guys. We want to be above. We want the 15 to be closing above. It's going to close the 5 minute bullish in structure as well, so we can add that as the confluence, because at the minute it just looks like we're struggling at that all-time high, so I have to wait and see. You guys been enjoying the fragrance reviews too on TikTok? All right, let's quickly look at German 40 yet again. All right, so it's tapped in. Good. Finally tapped in. And we're triggering the sell is fantastic. German 40 is looking good, but the issue is, I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to close above in the next under 3 minutes, and then we're leading in towards the London Open and not trading this at London Open. Not the first 15 minutes, no chance. With German 40 as well, if I do trade it, what I'm going to do is have a wider stop, aim for at least a 1-to-1, maybe get to break even in between. But yeah, it's going to be, as opposed to gold I use floating risk, so the risk, just I use fixed lot sizes. The risk will depend on obviously how wide the stop loss is and what lot size I choose to roll with. So generally speaking, for gold it could be anywhere between 1 and even upwards of 5%, whereas on German 40 I'm just sticking to 1% trade. There, sell German 40 and I'm bullish on it. All right, let's see on gold. It's trying to push. Have we grabbed just some necessary downside liquidity yet again from the range below? One minute remaining, guys. Right, 10 seconds. Doesn't like it's going to end up being above. So once again, still no real confirmation here. The 5 minute is struggling as well. So just need to wait, guys. There's still no solid confirmation for me just yet. Patience, patience, patience. Meantime, guys, I'll be back in a minute or two. Just gonna quickly do something in the kitchen. Don't go anywhere. All right, team, I am back. What's up? Lachlan, good day to you. Hope you're well. So gold we are rejecting. So again, still no solid confirmation just yet. Let's look at German 40 quickly. All right, so it's really has to happen basically within this 5-minute candle where we want price to pop above this minor resistance. Otherwise, it's too close to session open. Let's look at German 40. Is there sells from this point? No, it's bullish. It's bullish across the board. Yeah, it's bullish across the board. So for me, I would not really entertain the sells. What does look decent though is closures below support. Steve Squad, why do you not trade first 15 minutes London Open? Just German 40, because this thing goes berserk. It will trick in traders into the market, both up and down. And it whipsaws all about, to be honest. It's, for me, I'm not comfortable trading it at session open. Gold, on the other hand, no problem. But I've been trading gold for many years now. German 40, I'm only at the minute. I've only been paper trading or sim trading it with simulator, obviously. So I'm not comfortable enough because from what I've seen, that particular account itself, without enough data accumulated, it's just nuts. So I'm not prepared to trade it. I am keeping an eye though what happens at session open. Also, what happens when price makes a move. I've been taking some screenshots. My members who've been on the calls have seen. Making note of what's happened when price has made a move. Gone down to the 1 minute as well to look for what's gone on that time frame. Because this particular beast, this indice, in my opinion, if you are to wait, I mean, nothing wrong with waiting for the 15 and 30. It's a solid confirmation. But for the most part, if you are to wait for that particular candle close, you're going to miss the move. So I'd rather trade off the 5 and using the 1 minute also to add confidence. Still focused on the level. So we've got London Open. No, we don't have London Open. My apologies, guys, jumped the gun. Got that 5 minute counter closure. Crispy Honeybee, why did you stop trading GJ? To be honest, I just, for the most part, it was consolidating. It seems to be moving now. I mean, right now it's not, but for me, less is more. Plus, I prefer something that has more volatility. I mean, looking at it now, this looks like it's had a lot lately. But for the most part, last year, GJ was a mess. London session. Nearly every single London session was this. Alright, so same thing here on gold. We need to be above session open. On TikTok, you guys are awfully quiet. I smashed the screen. Let's get more people onto the stream. This is just not good enough. TikTok, you guys usually got me upwards of 100. Jacob, quiet because you're showing being in cells. Oh, conveniently. Okay, I think you mean. It's alright. Look, just because I'm not interested in selling it doesn't mean you can't make some profit from selling it. So, I mean, hopefully you have a nice win trade, mate, and the price pops back down to 46.20. But yeah, I personally just not prepared to sell it because it's in a big, roaring, strong uptrend. So I'll just trade in line with the trend. Lisa, Emmanuel, what's up? Not much, mate. What's up with you? Hope you're well. Neo, do you ever use Kelter channels indicator? Oh, no. Jacob, the support is TP. Yeah, I mean, it's realistic level. Especially as a scalper, if you call yourself scalper, then you gotta have realistic targets. And for me, that would be one of them. I mean, if you're saying you're looking for a quick scalp, take it back down to 4,500, obviously it's not, you're not necessarily scalping, so should have a more realistic target. But I mean, the fact that you're targeting 46.20 to me is a realistic level. Wait, double three. Where in Oz are you? You're in Adelaide? Melbourne. To be honest, probably better if I was in Adelaide. Not at been, but I can't imagine it being. I can imagine it being better than Melbourne, to be honest. Melbourne's just a big shithole of a rat race, that's all it is. Too many people here. All rejecting. Oh, nothing at the minute, guys. Nothing at the wee minute. W, he's meeting this support 46.20. Thank you for the stickers, W, appreciate it. Not necessary, but thank you very much. Thank you, mate. Helps boost your profile, not worth much, but TikTok however. Yeah, no, it's true. It definitely does help, so I do appreciate it. Towards likes, yep. Yeah, generally, I mean, for the most part last year, I was in excess of 100 plus on the live calls, sometimes well over 200. But I think I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to the algorithm, because I started posting a lot of fragrance review content. I think the algorithms may be a little confused. So I got a feeling that's what's maybe caused it. But hey, it is what it is. Those who know where it's at are here. So that's the main thing. Bitch, hope not near the fires. You're in Canal. Weather has been hot last week, beautiful this week. Good trade week so far. Nice one. No, not near the fires, mate. Although we did have all over the haze and smoke come across, so you could smell it quite strongly on the weekend. Especially on Saturday, you could really smell it. Wasn't good for anyone who has asthma. Nah, Melbourne's huge, mate. It's up in the sticks where it's at. Smack bang in the city. And trading wise, only started looking at live charts this week. And one trade yesterday for a win. And that's it. Yeah, maybe separate accounts, targeting a niche. Yeah, I know. This thing is thinking stupidly. Session open, by the way, guys. Well, because I've already got 12k plus followers on TikTok, that perhaps, German 40, perhaps I could leverage some of that and get some more through fragrance reviews, but I think it's not worked. See, this is what I mean. This thing's nuts at the open. That was bearish, now it's flipped, broken its high. Good chance gonna pump and then dump again. It's just all over the shop session open. That's just $6 move up, straight back down. Now more than $10 back down. That's why I don't trade it at London Open. Not willing to. Let it decide. Let it give you a little bit of an indication as to where it may potentially push. Nothing's guaranteed. Just if this closes strong bullish doesn't mean the next candle is going to continue bullish, but it gives you a stronger indication as to likely next potential move. So that's why I prefer to wait. And gold, we're still always being gold as it was last year during London session. Glenelg, you guys have got a good footy team, don't you? In a SA NFL. Not that I follow footy anymore, just remember back in the day, because the team I do support had a lot of, I'm pretty sure we had quite a lot of players coming out of Glenelg. When AFL was good, it's shit now. It's really shit. Strong teams, lots of country kids, yeah. Don't know about you, mate, but to me, footy is a lost cause. It's been shit for... I don't think I've followed footy for a dozen years. That's not a word of lie. I used to love it. I used to go... I was a member of Carlton, the Blues. I used to go every game in Melbourne, basically, for about 5 years. Was that the last game I ever played at Optus Oval? Still got the card from it somewhere. And yeah, I just don't follow anymore. Not the same. It's Like touch footy these days. Plus, if I walk past the footy playing the street, I wouldn't have no idea these days. Whereas before, I knew every face and everything. Now I would not recognize one. Gold doing absolutely sweet F8 at the minute. German 40 a little bit indecisive still, so again that's what I mean. Look at it, up down up down. Look, if you're a levels trader, if you use fibs and that, then maybe there's options at session open. Trade the 1 minute, maybe there's options at session open. I'm looking into it on this particular asset class, but even having said that, would have found it very difficult to find an entry amongst all that. I think German 40 really best to wait for the first 15 minutes of London Open minimum. But in all honesty, guys, this week's just a chill week. Just a really chill week. Not expecting a great deal at all on the charts. Just getting back into the swing of it, to be honest. They can be looking pretty good now. Looking really good. For me, I'd be well and truly at break even. Yeah. Do you trade binary options? What are they called? No, I don't trade options. Options to me is a bit like if I wanted to just have a bit of a roll of the dice type of thing. Because options you can trade like, I think it's as short as a 15-second contract. I think. Pretty sure it's 15 seconds is the minimum. So it's basically whether you think price will be up or down in that 15 seconds from, you know, the open of the trade. To me, it's a bit like roulette or something like that. Just going to casino and, you know, placing 20 bucks on red or whatever. Or maybe for a bit of shits and giggles. Yeah, I've never really looked into it too much. But, you know, some people make a living from it. Good luck to them. You know, well done, obviously. It's not really for me. I'd rather trade, you know, gold, trade CFDs. EIW, nice one. Jacob took partials at 46.26.2, move stop loss to break even, nice one. Nice one, guys. Fair enough. Good that you're not being greedy, so well done. Crispy Honeybee, you think gold's going to come down to daily low wick? The daily low wick? Not necessarily. It's got a fair bit of support to get through in order to do that. So look, I wouldn't just buy it if it taps into that level, but what I'm going to say is, if you had to ask me now whether I think we'll respect this and we'll head back up or not, I would say I reckon we will. So if that's the case, then that means we're not going to pop back down to create the lower wick, which is actually lower down here, 45.86. As I mentioned off the bat at the beginning when I was doing my analysis, we've got multiple candles here without wicks in the opposite direction prior to closing bullish. We've got this candle here, I've got this candle. Obviously today it's not closed yet bullish, but looking like it will. Have had this candle over to the left hand side, so yeah, this kind of looks very similar to those candles at the minute. So what I'm, if you're asking me not to sit in a fence and choose, then I'd say I think we're going to respect this level, head back up, and there's a good chance I'll wake up tomorrow and we're at a new all-time high yet again. Jacob will love to buy at the support when it comes to it. Yeah, that would be a pretty good option as well. Uma, what is your buying level? 46.20. Wow, look at that, 740. Again, this is all within the first 15 minutes. Good luck trading that at session open. What do we reckon, guys? Where do we think gold will be at the end of this year? Let me know, guys. What do you reckon? Above 5k? Below 5k? I'm going above 5k. Moon? Yeah, that's a good chance. Crispy honeybee. Yeah, I think it's going to be above 5k. You know, I'm anticipating silver around, I think it'll be above 1. I'll go above 150. Go above that level. A little bit of a wider target. So you're looking at just under another 100% move on silver. Actually, from start this year, let's start the year at $71. So it gets 150, you're looking at just over 100% again. Could happen. Like I said before, 130% roughly on last year. And I do believe it's going a lot higher than that. So yeah, I'm gonna say 150 upwards for silver. And gold, I reckon we'll be looking at over 5k, maybe about 5,500. There are going to be pullbacks within, but I think similar to last year, when there was any sort of significant pullback, it was bought straight up very quickly, very quickly. It was literally down for like a day, and the next day you have a strong bullish engulfing counter. PVXMJAD10. Today I lose $100. Just look, if that's what you're risking, accept it, move on. Call it a day perhaps, and come back tomorrow. Hopefully you're following your plan and you just jump into trades because you felt a need to trade. So you need to be accepting of your risk, and that's just part of trading. You're not going to always have winning days. Fetch above for sure. Trump will keep doing crazy things. Yeah, that's the other. It's a good point. B43 MZZZ 6.5k, realistic. Jacob, I was thinking it will go to 5k in the first quarter to half of the year, but then have a good correction if political tensions die down for once. Yeah, I mean that's a good point too. That potentially could happen. Dan, g'day to you, mate. Hope you're well. Hope you enjoyed your holidays, and you mentioned you were in Melbourne. I hope you enjoyed our city. Much to enjoy here, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. And have a look at the new section of the Discord as well, my friend, when you get a chance. Thank you to a new subscriber. Yeah, platinum as well. Platinum's just created a new all-time high just recently. For me, platinum, look, it used to be valued higher than gold. Platinum still has a lot of potential upside as well. Significant potential upside. It's a lot more scarce than silver and gold. Palladium's another one that's still decent value. It's not actually at its all-time high. Yeah, my focus is on silver personally when it comes to, you know, wealth accumulation. Jacob, not a correction by the end of year, then maybe 2027 if the Democrats can win midterm and impeach Trump. That's a good point. That's all possibilities. It could happen. Could happen. PVX MJAD 10. So are you do trading prop account? No, I do not trade prop accounts. That reminds me. Something I need to do, but I forgot. But no, I trade live capital, my own funds. Yeah, I don't like trading platinum because of the bigger spreads. No, I'm not talking about trading wise, I'm talking about accumulation for future. Without using the I word in case it triggers the algorithm to ban my stream on TikTok. Platinum spreads are stupid? Probably. I've never looked into it. So again, silver as well, when I talk about, I'm not talking about trading it. Although I have traded it once last year for a win, so 100% strike rate in silver. Maybe I will trade it, who knows, but I'm talking about physical accumulation, so I've been huge on that. Spoke about it You guys probably sick to death of me speaking about it. Speak about nearly in every bloody stream when I think about silver, and how, you know, how I've been buying it all throughout since it was like $20. Still buying it, to be honest. My last purchase though was New Year's Eve. Been wanting to buy bets. To be honest, all I can get my hands on at the minute is high premium stuff, so I'm not willing to pay the high premium. And I mean, our local mint in Perth Mint will start, I'm assuming, producing more of the E26 coins and be more readily available, and I'm gonna wait for that. So anything about selling some silver soon? Have 2.5 kilogram right now. That's good, man. It's really good. Yeah, I'm waiting for it, the what's called the ratio, silver to gold ratio, to get towards at least 30, where I consider, and I'm not going to sell. I will probably maybe at 40 mark. I'll start to swap some silver into gold. But I'm definitely going to keep some silver. Red and plat, I don't know, man. I don't even have it up here. Probably wide as well. Bought it for a little over 5k. 5k. Are you talking about gold, you mean, or all that silver? Man, if you bought 2.5 kilograms of silver, how many ounces is that? Sounds like we're doing bloody. Yeah, I'm gonna be careful what I say. I was gonna say, you guys probably get the picture. You can make out the rest. So 88 ounces. Okay, that's pretty good. 88 ounces, 5k. Wow, that's really good. I'm talking what? So about it's under 60 bucks an ounce, roughly, Australian. 54 ounces. Yeah, I'm working off the gold, silver to gold ratio more than anything. But yeah, I'm not selling, just not interested in selling it. I'm just going to hand it down to my son. But what I'm going to do is, again, once the ratio gets to around that 30 mark, start to trade some of it in for gold. Any good bullion dealer should accommodate that for that. After the markup is close to 60, yeah, around that. Still, I mean, look at it now, it's 134 Aussie dollars. So you more than doubled your money. Some boss golden lens, London is boring these days. Well, it was last year, and so far, from what I can make of it, this year as well. But having said that, we did get a trade yesterday with the members for a quick scalp, for a quick win on gold. But today's session looks like it's going to be a no trade session. So on that note, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go have some dinner. I'm pretty hungry. But I will be back tomorrow. Again, this week, not expecting all that much, to be honest. Just working myself back into it, being on the charts more consistently. Watching the live charts this week, first time I've watched them properly. So getting a feel for it again. In the meantime, guys, if you've not already done so, don't forget to follow on TikTok. Yeah, hopefully I have more people on here tomorrow on TikTok. Obviously, some of the ones who followed didn't like it, so have unfollowed, but it's all good. Sorry, guys, can't always get a trade. Very strict, very disciplined. If you want to be a good trader, you need to have the all-important discipline that is patience. Very, very important. Good appetite, Neo. Thank you. Yeah, so thank you one and all for joining. I appreciate it. It's good to be back. we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. My members, again, the 3MY streams will start as of next week, so no update as such for today. But I will be about if you guys are trading, so feel free to at me if you want my opinion on things. Otherwise, guys, appreciate the support. Take care. Have a good one. And until tomorrow, go well, my friends. See you guys.